In the end, we all are stories. And today, I would like to begin with the end. A few days ago, I came across an insightful story about an old man from Alaska who had two dogs. One was white and the other black in color. Now, every week, this old man would bring his dogs to the village and organize a dog fight. While people would place their bet on which dog would win the dog fight, this old man would always bet on the winning dog. This went on for many years, and after he retired, a woman asked him the secret behind betting with such accuracy. Would you like to know his secret? Let's come back to this story in a while. Every child is born as a genius. It's only in our years of schooling and upbringing that most of us lose our creativity. We constantly reminded not to ask too many questions, but to accept whatever is being told. This then kills the curiosity of our mind. Allow me to briefly share about my own life. I was born in a large joint family with 14 members under one roof. As a child, I was shy, introvert, and overprotected. I still remember my first day in school when my class teacher asked me to come in front of the class and introduce myself. Hesitantly, as I reached the front of the class, I could see 50 pairs of eyeballs staring at me. Back at home, I was told, don't talk to strangers. And here, all I could see were strangers. Some smiling, some laughing, and some even frowning at me. I froze, frozen with fear, frozen with uncertainty, frozen by the weight of 1,000 eyes looking at me. I could barely half open my mouth when a voice within me grew loud, louder, and louder. What are you doing? Run! Run! Can't you see these boys here? They will hunt you down and make you their feast. I quickly ran to my place, not spoken a single word, ashamed and defeated. Fast forward 10 years later, when I was in class 10, and till then, I was still living with the same lie that I could never speak on stage. When a new English teacher joined us, and she prodded me to participate in an upcoming debate contest. As she was trying to convince me, that same old voice came back, screaming into my ears. What are you doing? Don't you remember what happened last time? Don't even try this. No, ma'am, I can't do this. I blurted out. I don't have it in me. My teacher came over to me, kept her hands over my shoulder, looked into my eyes, and she said, I believe in you. You can do this. And she told me two things that I never forget in my life. Make mistakes. They're your best mentors. And be stubborn about your dreams and goals. My charming teacher somehow convinced me to participate. And even though my performance on the stage was a complete disaster, I realized that at least I could speak in front of others. Life went on for me. As a student, I was studious and diligent, pursuing science. However, a sudden turn of events and perhaps destiny led me to join my father's business at the tender age of 17, shelving my dreams of becoming an engineer. So here I was, well versed with differential equations and calculus, but having zero idea about what debit or credit was all about. Life still went on. I settled in the daily humdrum of life, got married, and we were blessed with two sons. But I was still searching for my purpose in life. One day, we were invited to my son's school for a parents' meeting. During the meeting, when the principal asked if any parent would like to share their opinion on the issue at hand, I wanted to share my thoughts. When the silent scriptwriter came rushing to me, "What are you doing? Are you crazy? Look around. There are over 100 parents and the teachers and the principal. You will lose your reputation. What if they laugh at you?" As I sat baffled, not spoken a single word, I looked at my son and he was giving me those looks. "Dad," I thought, I had let down my family and myself yet again. What would my children think of me? Throughout our lives, we have been asked the age old question: what do you want to become when you grow up? And as adults, we keep posing the same question to our children, don't we? Over time, if we may find ourselves donning different suits, that of a doctor, a lawyer, an entrepreneur, a business owner, a startup enthusiast. But during our lifetime, we may realize that the suit we have been wearing no longer fits us comfortably. This realization might strike at different stages of our life, maybe at high school, maybe at college, or maybe even at the age of 32, as it did for me. That was my moment of self realization when I felt I had to change something for the better. I realized that I had to craft my own path that aligned with my authentic self. I decided to overcome my fear of public speaking that has been haunting me throughout my life. And so I joined the local speakers club and started attending meetings regularly. I also joined some social organizations and volunteered for leadership roles that forced me to speak up in meetings and public gatherings. To be honest, it was scary and weird to begin with. But as I practiced my speeches and deliverables in front of the mirror, in my driveways, in my walking hours, even in my office hours, in my walks, in my runs, everywhere, I gradually started to feel more comfortable. I learned how to whisper something to being loud and amplified. I learned how to control my shaky hands into confident gestures. From shying away at looking at the audience to making a strong eye contact was a journey that took me years. Surely and slowly, I moved along the scale from being pathetic to tolerable, to soothing to a confident speaker. I realized that the only way to kill any fear is to do it over and over and over again. And that applies to any fear you have been harboring within yourself. Friends, some people are born lucky, but some, like me, need to find one. One day, when I returned home from work, my wife told me that our children needed to learn communication skills as they have been struggling with it in school. To our surprise, when we looked around, we couldn't find a single institute in our hometown offering those services. She then pushed me to train my children and three of their friends. So the next day, we met at our friend's cafe and started with the training. As we started posting pictures on social media, it went viral. We were amazed when we started getting inquiries. By the following Sunday, we had 12 eager children ready to learn. Then we started with the training, and this went on for weeks and months. Then we thought it's now time to structure it more professionally. As soon as we announced the commercials and the course details, 8 out of 12 parents backed out. And most of them were so called family and friends. Any guesses who came after that? The silent scriptwriter coming to me again. I told you not to do this. Why are you even doing this? This isn't your forte. Look, even these people have abandoned you. Shameful. For the first time in my life, I thank that voice within me for shaking me up. It made me realize that success doesn't happen overnight. It made me realize that there is no substitute to hard work. That we had to build our own credibility before others could trust us. We made mistakes, we met with failures, we fell down several times, but we rose again. Bit by bit, brick by brick, we were training one participant, one children, one batch at a time. As we witnessed our fame and glory grow. Today, in this humble journey of 8 years, I can proudly say that we have coached over 10,000 participants and students across countries and have a stellar presence in 8 cities across India. From the little boy who could not even introduce himself in the class, I stand here today to introduce myself on this TEDx platform. And this teaches me a few things about life. First, I would like to reiterate that every child is a genius. Every child is unique. Let us allow them to draw their own painting in the canvas of life. Fear. Let's talk about fear. Fear is that invisible wall that doesn't let us march forward. But you know what? You can bring down that wall, face fear into the eye, and march your own step forward. It's okay to feel scared, but don't let fear dictate what happens next in your story. The 2 lessons of my teacher: make mistakes and be stubborn about your dreams and goals. Today, I truly understand the real meaning of those words. They have become the operating principles of my life. And lastly, life's tailor may surprise you with a wardrobe change. From planning to become an engineer, to being a businessman, to becoming an educator, I kept changing my suit to suit my own authentic self. When that happens, accept that change. And now, let's bring back the story of the old man from Alaska. I'm sure you all are waiting for me to reveal the secret. When he was asked the secret behind betting on the winning dog every time, he smiled and he said, "It's very simple. During the week, I only feed that dog which I want to win in the dog fight." Friends, just like that old man, we too have those 2 dogs within us. As the 2 voices which is in us, one pulling us back and the other pushing us forward to try out new things. I want to leave you with one final question. Which dog are you feeding today in your own mind? Thank you so much. Thank you, friends.